Hey guys, welcome back to the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Aisha, and today I am with one of my work besties. So we're going to have a little bit of fun here because Kevin's not here, okay?
Yes.
Not that I don't have fun with Kevin, to be clear, but
we love Kevin.
I have lots of fun with Jamisha.
Yes, we do.
So today, I'd like to talk about working in real estate. And
oh, wow.
The title of this episode, so somebody take notes, is The Real Work Wives of Real Estate.
Yes, it's real.
And we work too much.
Yes, we do. We work a lot.
And we're ready to be retired.
Yes. We want to be retired. We want to be women of leisure.
Women of leisure.
Yes.
You know what, though? We might not be women of leisure yet because we're so busy building empires. But I think that we can carve in a little bit of leisure every once in a while.
Yeah, without feeling guilty.
Without feeling guilty, but we definitely have to put it on our calendars.
If it's not on the calendar, it's not happening.
It doesn't happen. But
it's not gonna happen.
But that's a good point, though, right? Because if it's not on our calendar, it's not happening.
Yeah.
And the same thing for our leisure. Like we don't schedule our leisure.
No.
There will be no leisure.
No, we can't sneak away from times between being mothers, wives. The time is just not there. So if it's not on the calendar, it's not gonna happen. So we should schedule something.
It's a date.
It's a date. I love it.
Y'all heard it here first.
Yes.
We gonna hang out again.
And again. And again. You hear that, Kevin?
Again.
You see what happens when you're away.
Okay, so I am so excited to have another female counterpart with me today to share more about how we manage this real estate world. And not only are you a broker, but you also are a brokerage owner and you got all the kids over there. Like, do you keep it together?
Sometimes. So I keep it together sometimes, but I keep it together more now than I did before.
Okay.
So before, I was scared to ask for help and support. I really got, just to be honest, I got caught up in the Superwoman persona. And the Superwoman persona is damaging.
Yeah.
Damn it to hell. I don't know if I could say that on this podcast.
You can.
But no, I got caught into that one. So mentally it's toxic. Feeling like if you can do everything and if you can't, you're a failure. So I had to really just envision it. I can be Superwoman, but Superwoman is great at delegating.
Is.
So that's what it was more so. It was about, hey, I can take on this load, I can do things, but it might not be personally doing it, but it's me making sure that it gets done.
What changed? What for you changed that turned that light bulb on?
It was the same. So at work, being a brokerage owner, being a broker, entrepreneur, business, we develop systems and processes in our business every day.
Yep.
Every day. Like it's systems and processes. We have coaches that help us with systems and processes. But I was not creating these same systems and processes in my business. And it seems like, I'm not turning my family into a business. I'm not treating it like it's a business, but there is a level of organization that it helps to manage, when they say manage a household.
Yeah.
So in certain ways, you have to add and incorporate those systems, processes, delegations that go on in your business, like nannies and Instacart.
Yep.
Those things are wonderful.
Listen.
Yes.
I don't disagree with you. And I think because we know the inner workings of each other's lives, because she's my work bestie.
Yes, I am.
It's hard to, I haven't unlocked that yet. Haven't unlocked all of that. Now, the delegation part. That's
you are queens of delegation.
Who cooking this food? Who's cleaning this house? Who picking these kids up from school? It's not me. And I'm grateful for that. But it's also a necessity, right?
Yeah.
And you say you had the Superwoman syndrome. I, for a second, had an issue with how other people viewed how I delegated things that are in my life. But I also had to recognize that their lives don't look like mine, right? They're not as busy as mine. You don't work as much as I do. And you have a stopping point, and I have to make myself stop, which, again, I do have to make myself stop, but I do need those nuances I do need that help in my life to actually get these things done.
Yeah, and it's okay to ask for help. I think from a cultural perspective, asking for help outside of our village was a challenge, even from our parents. The generation that our parents grew up in, they were just gonna bring their kids. If they couldn't go to the event, their kids wouldn't go come.
Yeah.
And it was just like, we talked about this the other day.
We did.
As far as attending, exposing our kids to, different, dining settings or different things. It's like, hey, we knew how to act. Why don't our kids know how to act in these type of settings?
Okay.
And it's because we tagged along with our parents. Our parents, they didn't find babysitters or they didn't find nannies. They just took us along with them.
Yeah.
And our kids were like, we'll be going out for dinner with friends, and you're gonna stay with the nanny, And so sometimes these new, So basically, our kids were. Let me give you a little context. The children, we need to work on them and how their etiquette skills are in formal settings. Mm-hmm. And the reason we kind of got down to the problem and realized this because we're not exposing them when we're going out as much because we do have people to assist us and help us. So that was one situation, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
We also had to sit in church. Like there was no children's church back then.
We did.
Right? So
we had to sit down.
Children's church, you could go and be a child in church. And back when I grew up, there was no children's church. And so, there was a little bit of pinching. Yeah. You couldn't fall asleep. You had to sit still in church. Purse peppermints that taste like perfume.
Yeah, stay in a child's place.
All of those things our kids absolutely miss out on, but they also have all of this instant gratification too.
Yes, they do.
And so we lamented about this over the weekend, how our kids saying they're bored means something to them. Like, I'm bored. I'm like, cool.
Okay, be bored.
That's what boredom is good. You know what I mean? But they always have something to fill in that gap. Tell me a little bit more about areas that you're looking to improve on, right? As a wife, as a mom, because this is marriage and real estate.
I'm just going to prioritize my husband.
You heard that? That's for you. That's for you, husband.
Prioritizing my husband. So I have 3 children.
Yeah.
I have 3 children. Like we say, that manage a business, managing expectations, that's another thing. But it gets difficult. So I have a 10-month-old, a 7-year-old, and a 12-year-old. The needs of each one of those in those categories are different.
Yeah.
So trying to spend time with my children is a priority because I take it very seriously about fostering the next level of our next generation and really building and pouring into our children so they can be great stewards and great citizens of the world and giving them everything they have from, tutoring, studying, exposing them to things. And this is all, I'm thinking this intently and being this intentional about my children.
Yep.
Does my husband get that same level of intentionality? It's like he grown, he can figure it out on his own, And but I do understand that in order to foster our family, I need to prioritize my husband more.
Yeah.
I do. And it's nothing wrong with that. It's something that I've identified that requires some attention, and it's an area that I can improve in, and it's okay.
But
I
appreciate that because a lot of times people get on these platforms and they tell you all the good stuff that's happening in their lives and all the things that they do so well. And let's just face it, we're human, right?
Human.
So there's always something that can be improved on. And the one thing that I've been very intentional about, do we get it perfect? No. Okay, let me look at no. I don't know which camera I'm supposed to look at. No, we don't get it perfect, but we are going to raise these children. And I think before I became a mom, I instilled this in my husband because, he had a previous marriage and he came with a daughter. And I said, babe, she's going to grow up and leave you and live her own life.
Yes, they will.
And then what do you have? And if we don't sow into each other, if we don't build something with one another, if you build everything around this person, just know she's going to leave the nest and do what she's supposed to do. That's her job, right? And so I think we do a good job at doing date night and stuff now. Connecting on holistically, we could use some work, but I think it's very important that we are intentional about our marriages. And for the audience and other people, I'm sure you are looking at your marriage and feeling the same way, regardless of where that gap is. Sometimes we connect emotionally and everything else. There's always something. And I try to tell Kevin that all the time, like every marriage has something.
Every marriage has
For some marriages, it's finances. For some marriages, it's intimacy. For some marriages, it's business. For some marriages, it's all kinds. Everybody working on something.
Absolutely.
That's marriage. That's marriage.
And I just truly want to empower him to be the leader of the family.
Yeah.
I don't want to lead the family. I want to show up and support the family. And how can I be your helpmate in this situation? But I truly want him to, be the leader. But I need to empower him to be the leader. So, and that's what conflicts. At work, I'm the boss.
Yep.
At work, I'm Madam Broker.
Yep.
I'm running the ship with my partner. We're working together. I have agents, I have employees, I'm managing, I'm conflict, resolution, I'm handling these things. I'm making the shots. So trying to turn that off when I pull up to the house, trying to, shut that when I'm shutting down the garage, that's a challenge. It's a challenge. I want to, in my mind, in my heart, in my spirit, I want to allow him to lead. But the person that I am, it's a challenge.
Here's a question. Do you have to?
Yeah, you're right.
Especially if you're better at something, right? Like Kevin is better at cooking. Traditionally, I should be the one that cooks for the family. Now, neither one of us cooks, but usually if there is food being prepared, Kevin is the preparer of food because he is good at doing food, at making food. So like, does that mean I need to learn how to cook? Let me be clear, I'm not.
I do not believe in traditional gender roles, by the way.
Okay,
disclaimer.
Good. Because I feel like the person who does something the best should do that, right? So if I'm the person who, it's like with money, for example. In my marriage, I'm the person who is the best manager of the money. And so I'm the steward of the money. This is what we'll do. This is what we'll do. We'll invest in this. And obviously there's input and conversation and dialogue, but ultimately we defer to money situations. Now, in some marriages, like this, the man, and he did it. And to be clear, Kevin always made more money than I did. And I always managed the money because that's my strong suit. And I just feel like in marriages, if we can let go of the confines of what should be and work in what actually is, we would have so much less friction in our marriage. Now, both parties have to see it that way.
Absolutely,
for it to work, right?
Yeah. When we went to marriage counseling prior to being married, the counselor, she said something remarkable, and we've been married 8 to 10 years.
Many years.
So she said something, but it stuck out to me to this day, and then she said, we were talking about the role of being submissive and the husband leading the household. But she said with that role of leading the household comes the responsibility to know when you need to allow your wife to lead in certain areas.
Yeah.
And that is the role of a leader, is to let go and say, hey, I'm bringing you on board this ship or into this operations organization because I identify, and we do this at work, right? We identify that, hey, I'm going to bring you on because you're way better at social media than I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to bring you on. I'm going to bring a CPA and accountant on because you're way better at doing accounting. And so as the leader and leading that household, it's okay to say, you're great in this area.
Yeah.
I'm going to allow you to lead here. And that's kind of the role of empowering him to be a leader. It's also for him to have that clarity in our household to be able to say, you're better here.
And the strength to say, hey, this isn't my strong suit. This is your strong suit. Yeah. Okay, so I want to put 2 pins in certain. One is how imperative therapy is to marriage. Okay, put a pin there. And then the other pin is the business of marriage. Because I feel like we gotten away from the business of marriage and people like to judge the business of marriage. But baby, this is a business.
It is a business. and we want it to be a sustainable business.
Okay.
Yes.
We're trying to, at any rate. Okay, so let's start with therapy. Then we get to the business of marriage. So we have truly grown as a couple and as individuals when we both are in therapy. When we are not in therapy, I take my life experience against his life experience and we go toe to toe. It's going down because I do it right.
Not it's going down.
And he does it right in his life experience and I do it right in my life experience. And when those two things come together, you have a married couple.
Yes.
Okay, period. That's just what marriage is. It's these two people leading two separate lives coming together, trying to lead a life together. You need a third party resolutionist
You do.
in there somewhere. Yeah.
And it's okay. It's
It
okay.
is necessary. Damn okay.
It's
It's
okay.
necessary.
It's okay. That goes back to one of those cultural norms that we have
It
to fight through
is.
every day, being this generation that we are.
And we have it accessible to us, right?
Yes.
Like, sure, your grandma and grandpa didn't need therapy, but also your grandpa got kids with 4 other women back there. You know what I mean? Or your grandmother didn't have the ability to walk away.
Financial.
And now we do. And so if we want this to work, we have to work it. And we need the resources, therapy, to work it.
Yes, and we need to work it like a business.
It's a business. I don't care what y'all say. I don't care who don't like it.
Yeah, it's like, who doesn't bring in our business? We got a coach for everything. We got a marketing coach. We have a teams coach. We have a profitability coach. And it's okay, right?
Yep.
You know, we work these things in our business because we want our business to be fruitful.
Right.
And we want it to be prosperous. But why are we so scared and apprehensive to get coaching or support or mentorship in our personal lives? And it's pride. Let's just get down to it. It's a lot of pride. Pride is one of those 7 deadly sins. It is. But it's pride, especially when you have strong-minded
individuals,
people and individuals that play a part of it. But it's necessary.
I liken it to plastic surgery.
Okay, let's hear this.
Most people, it is painful to do, right? But most people that I know that have had it done love the results, right? So going to therapy and working through therapy is painful to do, like drudging up all of that stuff and working through all that stuff. But I have not met a single person who went to therapy and was like, I don't love this. I don't like this. So, I mean, it's hard.
That's a good one, Aisha.
But I mean.
The girl Aisha, let me tell you. Yes, being her work bestie, I get these all the time.
It's a thing. And so I'm like, get y'all one. Get you one for you. Get you one for him or her or whatever. And then come together and have one together. But we all, I don't know, not one person don't have something they need to heal from.
Are we talking about healing?
I'm just saying. Just imagine the fully healed person. Imagine your fully healed self coming into your marriage, or your fully healed partner. Let me take the perspective out of it. Imagine your fully healed partner, because ain't nothing wrong with us, right? Imagine your fully healed partner coming to the table, coming to the marriage, right? We both got something that we can work on. Like, it's just.
Yeah. And what that does for a fully healed person, being able to give of their self, because you can't pour from an empty vessel.
Yep.
So being able to, going back to pinning the marriage is business, is now that person, whatever party, whatever party it is, being able to pour that into the relationship, be able to give of their self and not constantly trying to work against what they have going on, to be able to foster a marriage that can grow together.
Yep.
Because we talk about this all the time. Being able to work with our spouses, being able to give to each other, being able to be vulnerable, and to work together. And every time that we've been able to be on the same page with our spouses, being able to work with our spouses, how much more fruitful our marriage and our business,
life, and our business, our money, our legacy, all of those things. If you understand the benefit of a mastermind, right? A group of people coming together towards one goal, equal benefit, you have all of these. Marriage is the divine mastermind. Marriage is God's gift to people to unlock
covenant
greatness in you, right? So like, if I'm moving, we say this on the podcast too, if it's easy to move a couch with 2 people instead of 1. You can buy a much bigger house. Let's talk real estate. You can buy a much bigger house with 2 incomes over 1, right? Raising children is much easier with 2 people versus 1. Can it be done? Yes. Can you move a couch by yourself?
Absolutely.
Sure. Can you buy a big house by yourself? Sure. Can you buy a bigger house by yourself? Can you buy a bigger house with? That's what I mean. With both of you, absolutely, right? When both of you come together. And so if I'm looking back, okay, right? 40 years old. Kevin tired of me saying I'm 40, but I'm 40, okay?
Fabulous.
40 years old. If I could do it all over again, not that I would change anything because I respect the experience and how it got me to where I was. But if somebody said, here, go back and rewrite this part, I would have done it much different, much sooner. I would have had more of a business mind about the choices that I made and the people that I brought into my life to be a part of my life, right? Now, thank God I married right the first time.
Yes.
But it was a lot of bumps along the way to get here.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, marriage is the ultimate business decision.
It is.
It's the ultimate business decision. And if we look at things with intention and purpose and outside, the love factor is great. That's what, binds that union together. But it's so much more if you can analyze and figure out how you can grow from a real estate portfolio perspective, from the additional incomes and earnings, the divide and conquer mindset. It's just so many opportunities that you can, and just talking about vacations and trips and leisure. Go back to, we started off being women of leisure.
Women of leisure. Now
and if all our bills are paid and we still have money saved and our kids have 529s and college is saved, then we still have money over to be women of leisure and spend time in the south of France and the French Riviera. And
coming.
Yes.
Y'all
coming.
Mark this episode.
Yes.
We will be summering where will we be?
The French Riviera.
The French Riviera and
yes, Marrakesh, Morocco.
Yeah,
all these
Marrakesh,
wonderful.
Yes.
Oh, spending time in this time of year we go to Martha's Vineyard.
The vineyard, of course, darling.
Okay, so time in the Oak Bluffs.
It's gonna happen. Let's be clear.
Manifestation
is we're gonna make that work because we're gonna work together.
We're gonna
in this union too. Okay, all that.
Yeah, and we're gonna plan it. We're gonna plan it because work, marriage, real estate, it all takes planning. And you got to plan it out. You have to plan it. You got to prioritize it. And you got to put it on your calendar.
Absolutely. Well, I'm gonna stop you right there.
Sounds great.
And let you guys know that the Marriage and Real Estate Conference is November 3rd through the 5th. And I'm super excited for what we have in store for you all. These kind of conversations around the table with other wives who are either doing real estate or have husbands in real estate. But we're going to talk about how we can maximize our lives and our marriages through marriage and real estate. So we look forward to seeing you on November the 3rd. Tickets are already open. They are already selling. Don't miss your spot. There are a limited number of tickets left. And we look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you so much, Madam Broker.
It was so wonderful
for joining me in this very short amount of time.
Oh, it's more where that's come from.
I'll take what I can get.
Yes, my work bestie, guys. She's awesome. Thanks, Aisha.
Thank you. This is the Marriage and Real Estate Podcast. Thank you for spending your time with us again. We're out.
We're out.